Hi, Joe Ragusa here reporting for the W, and today I'll be talking to Mr. Amann about the new school year. How different is your typical day when you were a teacher?
Wow. So the typical day when you're a teacher is surrounded by bells, and I'm sure you know that feeling. You know, you can do things only by a bell schedule. But down here in the assistant principal's office, your day starts out by buses, and then by the next thing you know, the buses are coming back again. So there's no bell schedule, which is really nice. So if we're in a building meeting, so before I took on the AP role, I was the math curriculum leader for the past 15 years. So if you were in a meeting in the district office and all of a sudden it was now 10:35 and you're like, got a class, got to go. Is there coverage? And they're like, no, got to go class. So it's a little bit different that way. So that's what's really nice.
How different was the transition to being an administrator?
I think that was the best part. Mr. Shanker has been very kind and caring with me, which is always great. And I've known him for the 10 years that I was the math chair here when he arrived. So I think it was actually one of the easiest transitions for me. It was something I've always wanted to do. I would probably say about 8 years ago, I went back and got my certification as an administrator. Currently still in the PhD program, trying to finish my doctorate next year, hopefully. But when you're the math chair, it's like you're already distanced yourself from the teachers, but you're not an administrator, but you're like a own little island by yourself. So Mrs. Matthews and myself were kind of on that island by ourselves, not an administrator, but not a teacher anymore, and it was kind of fun.
How did the construction disrupt the summer work that needed to get done here?
So for us, like our work over the summer is really building the master schedule. So Mr. Shanker and I really sit in that room next door to you, and we build a master schedule. We enter singletons, we enter doubletons. Like singletons is when there's only one class, like APs, let's say psychology or something like that, or something like that. And then doubletons are when there's two sections of it. So our role really is creating a schedule for you guys to come back, and everything that you've asked us for is represented in your schedule. So with the construction, we didn't have obviously this use of this building. Mrs. Serrato, myself, Mr. Shanker, and myself were all in a little cubicle in the library, which was kind of fun. But we got along well then. The work that's done here is phenomenal about our group of custodians. So every year the building looks really bad because we just ended a school year and we put everything out in the hallways and then they clean out the rooms. So this year we had the roof being done, the ceiling tiles, the ventilators being in, and our custodial group put that back together amazingly. And they do phenomenal work. And when you guys see them, you should thank them for all the work that they do because it's just incredible. So our work just goes to the library. So we were just sitting in the library all summer, and every week we'd have a different place to park. But our work continued. It was just their work that was all different.
Do you think the connection with the students is different now that you're an administrator rather than a teacher?
I think one of the best parts that I've always had is a connection with kids. So if you understand kids, you'll understand a really great role as a teacher, and you'll also have a really understanding as an administrator. So I think that hasn't changed. I think what's changed is someone like you who wanted parking, and who would you offer me $4 for a parking spot? He offered me 4 Washingtons, and I was like, oh, great, I can now finally afford that gallon of milk that I couldn't purchase beforehand. So we've always had a relationship with kids, and I just think it's just now I get to meet the whole building. I had a little niche, about 100 kids I would see a year, but now I got an appreciation of the whole building, and I think by now I think everybody knows who I am, and I know who they are, and I think that's really neat for the kids.
Thank you.
4 Washingtons, right? That's what you offered me for a parking spot. I was like, great. Thanks, Joe. Really appreciate that.
That was a great interview with Kenneth Amann. Make sure to say hi to him in the hallways. Back to you in the studio.